Hey guys, welcome to the Kung Fu Driving podcast. I am joined by a very special guest tonight, uh, stunt woman, martial artist. You've seen her work in epic films like Avengers War, Black Panther, and currently doing some work on The Woman King. JENEL Stevens, so much for joining the Kung Fu Driving podcast live tonight.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
It's great to have you. Talk with you. Before we get started, you're working in some of the coolest universes. Was this your dream job growing up?
No, actually, it wasn't. Stunts found me, and I fell into it, and just didn't even realize that. And when I put on a couple super suits and became a superhero, it became a dream come true that I didn't even know I had.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Now, the Urban Action Showcase and Expo that I'm here talking about with you today, during its 10th anniversary, the urban audience has had an affinity for martial arts and action as long as I can remember. You're too young for this, but in the 70s and the 80s, everybody was kung fu fighting. It was the big deal. It was the big thing to be. What is your take on that? Why do you think the urban audience and martial arts and action flicks have found a home for one another?
Because it's cool. I mean, that is the the number one answer to that question. You know, it's functional. It looks great. But I mean, look at the shirt I'm wearing. Jujitsu comics. I mean, come on. How could you not this genre? People take it on as they haven't done it. They live vicariously through the screen, and the people that are kicking butt on being somebody that is able to bring that to light and station of some people's dreams come true is an honor and a privilege, and that's why I got into martial arts, is one, to protect myself, of course. I mean, I love the basis and what it represents and what the main reason for it is. It's really cool to be able to use that in my career now, and
Yeah.
giving.
Well, let's get into that then. How did your martial arts journey begin? What was it about martial arts that drew you to it, and more importantly, I guess, what has kept you in it so long so that you get into this?
That is a very interesting question, actually. My father got me into, actually put me into anything and everything that stuck with me. Martial arts was one of the sports, like tennis and basketball, baseball, and all that. So, I did karate when I was very young. But again, like I said, when I was in, I guess, right before high school, my dad arts this time in Taekwondo, and I was working my way up, and I really was excited to get in the classes. So really enjoyed that martial arts had to offer, but then I had to play. I chose to play basketball, and then went on to play Division I basketball in college. But for kind of give up martial arts because of the scheduling and all that. But I had promised myself that something at some point. So long story short, I came, well, too late for that, but into martial arts because martial arts school had opened up close as a personal trainer at Equinox, and Anderson's Martial Arts Academy was moved right down the train there. They were like, hey guys, let's try it out. And I think I was the only one who stayed out of all of the trainers. I just really fell back in love with it. I worked myself up to it, a specific level. I became a arts there. The thing that impressed me the most was the master of the school, Dan Anderson, was there every day. Like, he had his name on the school, but then when I realized he was the one teaching the classes, I just fell in love with it, and I really gelled with his mindset in terms of martial arts. And him and his wife, good friends, we're best friends to this day. And yeah, that's how my martial arts journey.
That's cool. That's cool. Now, Janelle, quickly, do you have like headphones or something? Because your audio is cutting in and out a little bit.
Oh, sorry about that. Sorry, I'm actually out of country. 1 second, let me get
No, no,
my
no
my
worries, no
headphones.
worries. Technical difficulties happen right here on the Kung Fu Diamond podcast. We roll with it as we always do. Um, by the way, Janelle Stevens can be seen in The Woman King, which is in theaters right now. So absolutely go check that out if you can. All right, then Janelle's getting the headphones in. Let's hope that.
Is that? Can you hear me now? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can hear you.
Is that better?
Yep. Yeah, it sounds like you're coming through a little bit clearer. Cool. Awesome.
Okay.
Thank
Cool.
you.
Sorry
Can you hear
about
me?
that.
Oh, that's great. That's
Very
great.
clearly.
No, let's so yeah, no, let's get right back into it then. Your martial arts journey has led you to this, but you mentioned at the show that somehow stunts found you, not the other way around. So you weren't looking to get into stunts at all. Um, Somehow you got pulled into the industry. How does that happen?
Well, like I said, I after a while I left Equinox training business, and since I was either between Equinox and Anderson's, that I just under their roof. So we pretty much had a trifecta in the martial arts aspect of it. His wife, artist, ran the group fitness classes that she. I did the personal training, so I also trained school. So I was there day in and day out every day. The New York stunt community came in before classes started, after classes finished, and basically we do stunt training. And I just kept them and really became more and more interested. The next, you know, colleague of mine came into the school to do the same, and I was like, "This looks really cool." And she was like, "Hey, are you pretty good at it?" So she pretty much passed my name, asked me to put together a headshot and a resume to give to her. And when she said resume, I was like, I don't have a resume. I have nothing. Then another friend came along, and he's like, write down everything you do for fun. You'd be surprised. Write down. I was like, oh, yeah, this is all doing this. I've literally started training for even knowing about it. So first job got passed around, and at the time there weren't very many Black female stunt performers that had their true martial arts. So kind of.
Oh, that's interesting. And Janelle, I apologize for this, but I think you actually sounded a little bit better without the headphones because now you're cutting out a little.
Sorry.
No, no, no.
All right.
No apologies.
Let's
You're out
see.
of country. I absolutely understand.
All right. Let's see if this works.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right.
Cool.
I think my
Okay.
speaker was kind of muffled. Are you using video, by the way?
Perfect. I can throw the video on. I didn't want to distract you, but I'm here.
No worries. I was just wondering if I got a lot of headroom going on. I'm trying to,
Yeah. No, no worries. No worries.
help the audio, but I think I heard my visual, but I think we're good.
Yep. Okay. Cool. Now you touched on a point there that I want to follow up on. You talked about how there are opportunities for Black women in the industry. What about women in the industry in general? How different was it for you as the male counterparts getting involved in stunts? Did you? I mean, you're obviously called into the industry, but when you were there, did you get the sense that it was a little bit different for you as opposed to the guys that you were working with?
Well, to be honest with you, I feel like I'm pretty fortunate in stunts. I've heard stories, and I've, spoken to women that have had a hard time. The women that have helped us get to the point that we are now. I'm great mentors, and times have changed to a certain extent. We have because there still aren't a lot of Black female stunt performers, and the ones who are here, we continually add toolbox, but at a certain point, we're all busy. So when they ask us to replace us, um, sometimes we can't come up with that answer. It's important to educate and continually do things like this. This career does exist, and it is something that is very tangible and achievable, and it's important for everybody to know that, so we can men to do the job that a woman is supposed to do. And to be honest with you, when women are doing then didn't even dream about doing, like, for example, car hits in a dress. That's a very difficult thing to do. And that for granted. And another stunt coordinator told me one time, you guys do the training. You guys are the future. You guys need to become the choreographers and the like, because men don't know how it is to walk in heels every day. They dress, and then to be able to hit the ground with that, and with minimal pads, so yeah.
Now, that's something that simple winds up being such a big deal because given the way that women are portrayed on screen, it's not like you can be all bulked up and on you. So you have to deal with stunts differently, just on a physical standpoint, because guys, bulked up and covered up, but the way that the industry works, the audience wants to see in as little as possible, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is so that's part of the training as well. As you do things in heels, being able to do things in a dress, and realizing that, okay, I need to be I know what part of my body needs to hit the ground, because of the pad there. One of the stories I have, I was on a job, and there's a few stunt guys, and the guys were wearing suits, so they were able to put pads on, but the women were all in minimal dress fabric. So, so there was one a performer who was actually a coordinator too. He just felt bad for, like, no, you don't have to do that, But funny enough, he's the one that walked away. That was the very interesting experience. That was not cool for him, obviously, but to realize, that it came. We know what we're doing. We have to train specifically for, and it's almost a sense of pride for me to know that, that we have to do that. To be honest.
Yeah. Now you did mention that for the industry to change, you guys have to be to um, evolve the industry. Is that something that's in the back of your mind as you looking to be part of that next generation of stunt coordinators and fight coordinators that will um, be that voice for women, for Black women in the industry, or for the new generation of stunt performers?
Absolutely. I look back into my career and the beginning of it, being mentors like Asia Frary and Mam Smith. They were very, very me being successful in this industry, and I am eternally grateful for them. And now that I've had experience, I'll never think, not anywhere close to it, but I think I have a responsibility at this point back, and to pay it forward. I've, started and stunt coordinating and on the Woman King, actually, when I walked into,
Mhm.
I felt a certain sense of responsibility, but I felt the respect performers, the female performers there, because they had been taught consistently, be a Black female, lead a class, lead them in the training, was very the inspiration in their eyes. And
Mm.
it's important to me to take the leadership skills that I had gotten from the fight coordinator, John Gow, and they saw that, for enhancing that by me leading the training next to Gina at Video Village. It's important for representation, and I take that very, very seriously, and I will do anything in my power to give back to in the industry.
That's awesome. That's admirable. You mentioned a few names there. Who are some of your influences in terms of the stunt industry? Are there people that you look up to now, or are there coordinators, choreographers that you want to work with in the future because you just love what they do with what they're given?
Every job, it's more and more of a pleasant surprise. I've worked for so many that are heart, the money makers, Heidi and Renee and Danny
Yeah.
Hernandez again, Chris O'Hara, Jared Burke from New York. There's so many to name. Tony Vincent and uh, Monique Gander, an inspiration as well, because she's a female stunt coordinator. There's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
very many of. She's very keen on making sure women. She does everything she can to help, and you know, on. But uh, some don't know yet or haven't met her and don't know anything about, and then you know they work for them, and then I'm like, man, I can't wait to work for them again. I'm still meeting people, working here and there, New York, California, Atlanta, Columbus. I'm meeting more and more, and it's almost like each experience becomes better and better in their own way. There's obviously challenges that you face in this action, but the people I'm meeting, in the general sense and overall inspirational and just really great people.
Well, on the other side of that, you may not realize it, but you're going to be an inspiration for somebody out there to jump into the industry. Does that kind of thing? Uh, do you feel that yet? Have you been touched by that kind of sentiment where somebody goes, "Hey, you know what? I want to be like Janelle Stevens."
It's so surreal to even hear that. But yes, I have had that by some of the performers in South Africa recently, and the Woman King, other jobs that man, one of the things that touched my heart the most, I was on Panther, and there were two little Black boys on, and this post went viral because they were looking at the movie poster, and both of that poster, and they were like, "Oh, that's me," you know, and I just started crying. Amazing to feel
Yeah,
the
yeah.
impact that you have on people, and it's about, or didn't think that it was that impactful until I saw that constant, accolades and people telling me it just inspires me to keep going and keep pushing and keep giving back, and some what I do, and but it's a reminder that you know and pay it forward.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, Let me go back a little bit because you're a martial artist. You've been studying it for years. Um, are you a martial arts purist when you have to get to start throwing hands for stunts, or are you receptive to the fact that cinematic fighting is completely different? And how do you marry those two worlds? Is it just do the job as effectively and as dynamically as I can with the skills that I've honed in martial arts, or how do you approach that?
I I'm completely receptive to the fact that martial arts, and I embrace that fact. I also love production, and with meeting more and more stunt performers, excuse me, they add to my toolbox. I mean, I do Jeet Kune Do primarily, so that that's the absorb what is useful and discard what is not, and making it my own. So what to different arts, that other people have, and we a lot of times have like a lot of stunt performers that come in with a certain martial arts or skill set that outside of the realm of martial teaches them something. So it's very fun to
Yeah,
go back and forth with that, and you know marriage on screen. It's important to be able to turn that. Um, this is my job. This is what I do for a living, and I did martial arts initially to be able to defend myself, and I love the mindset behind it. Um, so I have the utmost respect for, but I also know that I like to play cops and robbers sometimes, and learn new skills and learn new arts. So
yeah. And I asked that because I think it's important and it shows when the stunt performers or the actors uh, have that skill as a foundation to really sell that action. Because um, I've talked to one of the coordinators that you've worked with, Brett Chan, and
hmm,
we've had some discussions about Iron Fist, and we're not going to throw anybody under the bus or anything like that, but you know what we're talking
I
about,
know
right?
what
You understand.
you're talking about. Oh, Brett.
But and he's very candid about the whole thing. He's like, um,
Wow.
some people that don't have the foundation and don't want to put in the work, it doesn't look right on screen. And fans like us, fans of action and fans of martial arts cinema, pick up on that, and it bothers us. Um, so, how do you, as a stunt performer, make sure that you're on your game? Again, using those skills that you have.
Oh, just if and when I can, I haven't been able to get on the mats at Anderson, fortunately, because I'm working a lot, but I miss them dearly. Well, fortunately, in the industry of martial arts, so when I get on set with them or in rehearsals or whatever, I get to train, that we do. Um, and then once we get teaching the actors, um, it is very important to me to make sure that they have, if depending on how much time we have with them, um, I will teach them the way that I see it in an accelerated form. But it's important.
That's cool.
Body mechanics are important. I've been fortunate to work with a lot of actresses that are just gung ho and very, very serious about their craft, and they want to make sure that they look good on camera. I think one of the coolest things for me, and it was I keep using that word, but being in Video Village with Gina Prince Bythewood, and he with making sure things looked good. And again, that was
Yeah.
Danny putting me in the you you know you know whatever she needs. So she'd look at me and she'd be like, "Was that good? Do you like it?" And I'm like, "Ah," and she's like, "No, cut, my God." But it was important for her to get look, and it is important to me. I take pride in that as well because I'm a martial artist, and I like, well, we're supposed to be training warriors, or whatever it is, assassins. The more we can get them to look authentic, the better, obviously, it is for everybody.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Then, what do you think then is the next evolution for martial arts and stunts in cinema? Is there somewhere else for the industry to go?
I'm sure there is. That may be above my. I love. Maybe that place is reverting back to some of the classics. I mean, I would
Nice.
love to see that.
Yeah.
It would, because there's been this ballooning now with uh, fantasy heroes and all that, and that's great. I love working on those projects. I love you, Marvel. Don't fire me. Um, Important to sometimes keep the authenticity of going back in time and redoing, like I know the latest Ip Man, goes in the origin story
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
things along those lines. Maybe that is a step we can go into. That I'd like to be a part of that.
Oh, I'm sure you would. I'm sure. Well, speaking of that, then, a- as part of that evolution, are you looking to stay in the stunt double role, or are you maybe thinking about branching into the acting where you can be like a Tom Cruise and do all your own stunts?
Actually, am branching into that. This is why I'm in Colombia. It's been
Ah,
released, so I can.
awesome.
Yeah, I have a pretty significant stunt acting role right now, and I am like a sponge right now. But this is definitely a thing to take for a while, and have had the opportunity to do so now, and I'm completely grateful to incorporate stunts with it. So I'm loving my trajectory right
That's amazing. That's amazing. Can you talk about it, or I don't know if you're allowed to even say anything about it yet.
now. Oh yeah, there's an article out about it. I posted it in the movie Shadow Force. We're
Oh,
filming here in
fantastic!
Colombia. Yeah.
Very cool. Very cool. So you're branching out. Then, is there a dream project that you're hoping comes your way?
Oh, I feel like some of my dreams can evolve. But honestly, the opportunity that I've been getting and consistently get have surpassed my own um, aspirations. To be honest, I'm loving this ride that I'm on
That's
right
cool. Yeah.
now. Hosting roles, to be honest. Um, Maybe even commercials. A lot of my friends in the commercial with stunts. I've been offered, but I haven't been available. So I kind of want to do a couple of those, which is kind of weird to say, I guess, maybe. But I wanted to do a commercial. But yeah, like more. I'm just in the beginning stages of this journey, and I just hope that it continues. I'm gonna work towards it. But I love performing too, and find my eternal niche, which I don't think I'll ever get to, because it's ever changing. It's never the same. There's no monotony in it, and there's no matter what, and no matter what position you're in, stunt performer, stunt coordinator, it's all great.
That's awesome. How about things that you're working on that you can talk about? Obviously, you're doing Shadow Force there right now. Are there other things that you're involved in that you can't talk about, Are there other things that you're working on that you can't talk about?
Not necessarily. I mean, I've done some. There's other I'm not gonna say that because I probably can't say that I worked on that are coming out. This right now is, and I also did Face On is a project. Um, my friends did a feature and they brought me on as a stunt coordinator. Really dope. I have actually got
Cool,
to act in that as well.
cool.
So, Face On is the name of that movie. Pretty soon you guys can check that out. And yeah, that's where I'm at right now.
Awesome. And The Woman King is in theaters right now. What can you tell me about some of the stuff that you did in that film? Was it
And
challenging? Was it involved? Was it intense?
well, obviously, absolutely, the Woman King. That's why we're here, right? That goes without saying. That was intense in certain ways. I feel more environmentally so animals that we encountered that I've never been so close to before. Yeah, so I mean that was it was awesome. It was epic because of the actresses because they did 95 to 98% of their own stuff. I helped train them,
Wow.
get them ready. Um, but they were the I did a pass or two. I doubled viola on that and fight choreographers on that under the tutelage
Cool.
of Danny and Johnny, coordinators. But yeah, um, I'm speechless sometimes because it unbelievable experience. The rising up out of the grass when we shot that, it was the beginning of production. People that cried on set. I got
Wow.
goosebumps on. It was just something we had never seen on the big screen, and to just be a part of that is overwhelming and humbling at the same time. I really enjoyed seeing at a certain point and doing things with weapons and fitness and fighting that they never do, and the empowerment of so many women behind cameras, director, first AD, DP, very, very inspiring and uh, just amazing to be a part of, to be honest.
That's cool. Well, you're
Yeah.
clearly moved by that whole experience, and it's great to see. And again, you were inspired by that world, and the work that you're doing is going to inspire someone else. So I wish you the best of luck. That's amazing. I wish you the best of luck with the Woman King. It's
Thank
it's
you.
doing great out there in the theaters right now. Best of luck with whatever you got going on down there in Colombia and all those other projects that you can't talk about. It's inspiring to hear that your journey is moving in a way that is fulfilling to you and will continue to be fulfilling for all of us action fans. So congratulations, and I wish you nothing but the best.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And go see Woman King if you haven't seen it already.
Absolutely, go see Woman King. And will you be around for the 10th anniversary of the UASC this year, or no?
I'm I'm planning on it, but the brings me in places that are unforeseen. So I'll see what happens.
Of course. Well, if you're there, I hope we get to meet and hang out, and I can soak up some of that inspirational energy from you.
After you can follow me on IG too at JENEL _stunts.
Absolutely will. Absolutely will. Janelle Stevens, thank you so much for taking some time out. I know you're busy. I know it took you right from the set to here. So thank you so much for taking the time out to chat. Best of luck again with everything. Continued good luck down there, and hopefully we run into each other at the 10th anniversary.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Take care. Thank you.